Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Juniper Vale. We'll be doing more World Cup predictions today. Today we are doing June 24th. I've already done the first three teams for that day, so I'll be doing the last three teams for that day. Scotland versus Brazil, Czechia versus Mexico, South Africa versus South Korea. All right, so today it is right now June 19th. It is 3:34 Eastern Time. The US and Australia are currently playing. The last I saw was only 13 minutes into the game. The US already had a goal, and I think it was a accidentally scored goal by Australia. That's what it looked like. I only got to see it really quickly. But yeah, so that was 13 minutes into the game. They're now like half an hour into the game, so I'd like to see US win. I think that would be nice. I saw that the best they've ever done in FIFA was in 1930. They won third place, so it'd be nice to see them go far, if not win. I still don't particularly have a favorite team, though. It's like, oh, I'd like to see England win too because I'm an Anglophile, and they haven't won six to 60s. But I'd also like to see a smaller team win because it's like that makes it really exciting. Especially a team that may has never played in the World Cup before and may have never won. That would be insane. But I don't really have a favorite, though. So I feel like that's more enjoyable when you don't have a favorite, at least for me, because otherwise I would be too tense. I wouldn't be able to watch any of the games. I only watch the games like off and on, or I have them on in the background, like without the sound on, and I'm just like, have them in a window open. All right. So again, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscriptions. Don't forget to please like and subscribe. I've gotten over like 800 subscriptions now. I really appreciate that. I was not expecting it. That's crazy, but I really, really, really appreciate it because I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So I hope everybody else is having a lot of fun going along with me. If you pull any cards, let me know what you get. If you have any favorite teams, let me know who they are. All right, let's get into this. First game is Scotland versus Brazil. They are playing at 6 p.m. on June 24th in Miami, Florida. Let's see. Scotland beat Haiti, and then Scotland again are playing today, June 19th, against Morocco. So they haven't played yet. Brazil tied with Morocco, which was kind of very surprising. And then they are also playing today, June 19th, against Haiti. So they have not played yet. So I only have those the first game, only one game for each team, pretty much. All right, Scotland versus Brazil. Brazil's a powerhouse. I mean, I would imagine that Brazil would probably easily win, not necessarily because Scotland is a bad team, just because I don't think they are. I also don't know much about Scotland, but I don't think they're a bad team at all. But Brazil is like huge powerhouse. But the fact that they tied with Morocco was very kind of shocking. Um, I think for the most part, people were expecting more. So let's see. They're playing in Miami. I don't know if either team, probably more likely to have more Brazilian fans there than Scottish fans, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. All right. So Scotland is going to be on my left, Brazil on my right. So what do you got, Scotland? We have the Knight of Cups, we have the Three of Wands, and we have the reverse Page of Pentacles. Brazil has the Lover's card, the Ten of Cups, and the reverse Page of Cups. They both have reverse pages. Interesting. So Scotland has the Knight of Cups. Knights are about action, goal accomplishment, dedication. Cups are about intuition, emotions, social relationships. The Knight of Cups is not a fast knight because he does not want to spill what's in the cup. So any type of movement he does is very purposeful. The Three of Wands, wands are about that excitement, enthusiasm, great for sports. The threes are about the Holy Trinity, body, mind, spirit. Um, the Three of Wands is somebody who is standing. They've already worked kind of out what their plan is, and they are looking before they leap. So they're about to make some movement. They're about to do something, but they are planning about it beforehand, which is good. Now, the Page of Pentacles reversed. I don't know much about pages reversed, so let me look this up a bit. So this talks about a lack of focus or maybe feeling overwhelmed. There may be some procrastination and not taking advantage of opportunities, holding yourself back. So that's not a great card for Scotland. And it kind of makes sense with these two cards. These aren't bad cards here. This talks about being prepared and looking before you leap. But the Page of Pentacles is saying they may be being a bit too, they're playing too safe. So they're going to miss opportunities because they're playing too safe. So that's what these cards are saying for Scotland. Now, for Brazil, we have the lovers card. So, lovers are about creating those relationships. It doesn't necessarily mean a love relationship, could mean any type of relationship with people. It also talks about like love and harmony, meaningfulness, temptation. I think basically for this card, it's like saying there's a harmony between the team. They work well together. And that's a very good card, especially for a sports team. The 10 of Cups is that happy families card. So the 10 of Cups is like you're at the 10, so that's a completion number for tarot. You've really achieved something big. There's a rainbow, there's happiness, the kids are dancing, the parents are happy. Um, that says to me that's like goal achievement. So I think Brazil is already getting very good cards to do well. Um, then they get the Page of Cups reversed, which I'm very curious about. There's a doubt and intuition, sometimes creative blocks. There can be a feeling of disappointment or emotional vulnerability. So it's almost like there's a joy that they used to have about a situation that they just don't anymore. It's almost like, let's see. I think Brazil are going to do very well. I think they're going to get a lot of goals. They're going to outplay Scotland because Scotland is being too careful. But it's almost like I don't know. I don't want to say they don't get as many goals as they think they are, but it's almost like there's a melancholiness to it. Maybe perhaps I know that we were no, we weren't talking about that part with Tito. I'm trying to think back to certain things we said. It's almost like they're still not they don't feel like the powerhouse that they used to be. Like they're maybe they don't feel like they're living up to their expectations. So maybe the team is just not playing as well as they have in the past, but they're still winning. But there's this like weird melancholy about it where it's like they feel a bit disappointed in themselves, even if they're winning. So let's do some oracle cards. Scotland has the coffin. Brazil has the amulet. So coffin, I mean, ending, loss, transformation. I don't think Scotland is going to make it for this game. They're not going to win. It's pretty much what this says for Scotland. The Brazil has the amulet, protection, strength, and luck. So that's good for them, right? They are a very strong team. They're going to have a lot of luck during this game. Maybe that's why they feel a bit melancholy. Maybe they feel that they got some luck, whereas they feel like they should be playing at a higher standard because of their abilities, but instead they feel like they got lucky. Scotland got the wax mannequin, and Brazil got the gin. So with the wax mannequin, you're looking at something that's like a facade, a stagnation, and a loss of identity. I feel like Scotland just feels like they didn't play. They stagnated. They weren't aggressive enough. So they probably feel as though they just didn't, play as well as they should have. The gin is like a genie, right? Genie in a bottle that we have there. Almost like be careful what you wish for. Temptation, consequences, unchecked desire, and manipulation. So I almost feel like there's something else going on with the team. I see temptation and consequences. Like they're not they're being tempted to make certain plays. Maybe they want to do something big, but it's just not working out for them, and they need to focus more on the foundations. So I think that's what they're doing. It's like that sense of, again, that they're just not looking like the powerhouse that they're used to looking like. They're still winning, but they feel like they should be doing better. So I'm going to say Brazil for the win on this one. I think the cards are pretty clear on that. So next we have Czechia and Mexico. They are playing in Mexico City. So Mexico has that advantage playing in Mexico. There are going to be a lot of Mexican fans. And the Mexican fans can be tough. They played yesterday. Yes, they played yesterday. They won 1-0 against Korea. During halftime, the Mexican fans were booing because they did not like how Mexico were playing. And I think Tito and I talked about that when we were talking about the Mexican fans and how Mexico could feel a bit overwhelmed because there's a lot of pressure from the fans. If the fans are not happy, they will let them know, and they did. But what's nice, I think, for Mexico is that when they feel that pressure, it kind of spurs them on. They came back and they beat South Korea. So let's see. Mexico has played how many games so far? Their first game was 2-0. Oh, that's right. They played the opener against South Africa. They beat them 2-0. Then they played South Korea. They beat South Korea 1-0. South Korea to put up a very good fight. Now they are playing Czechia. Czechia had played South Korea, but they lost 2-1. Um, and then they played yesterday, they played South Africa and they tied 1-1. All right. All right. We'll see. We'll see what we get. I mean, Mexico has the advantage, I believe, in this. We'll see what the cards say. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't place any bets on what I say. Even though I think the readings are getting better. I think that Tito has given me a lot of good background information on the teams, which helps me in reading the cards as well. So, all right. So we're looking at Czechia, Mexico, Czechia on my right, Mexico on my left. 5 of Wands for Czechia, 2 of Swords, and the Hierophant. For Mexico, we have the 4 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Fool. So 5 of Wands for Czechia, battle. So you see a battle going on. They come out fighting. Yeah, I'm already getting an idea of how this game is going just from looking at these cards. So Czechia will be fighting. They'll be putting up a fight, and I think they're going to be having difficulties. By the time we get to the midpoint of the game, there's a choice that they have to make, and it's not necessarily a good choice. They're blindfolded. They have the two of swords. Swords are double sided, not necessarily easy for them to make a choice. It's almost like as they're playing, they feel a bit blindfolded when they're trying to do their plays. And then they get the Hierophant. The Hierophant is it's a traditional card. It talks about it could be related to religion, could be related to just tradition in general. I usually think of it as like institutions. There's a traditional value, doctrines, teaching, education, um, and it's about fundamentals. So I think in the second half, Czechia will go back to the fundamentals of playing. There, maybe they'll play a bit stronger in the second half, but in the first half, I think it's going to be very difficult for them because Mexico has the Four of Pentacles, and so this guy, as you can see, he is not sharing. I don't think they're going to let Czechia have the ball in the first half. I think they have that ball all to themselves. Pentacles are about that athletic ability, that physical ability, and Mexico is saying we have that ability. We're not sharing it. You're not getting it, right? They also have the Queen of Pentacles. So when I talk about kings and queens, I'm talking about leadership. The queens are like wisdom, right? And they are not intimidated. Very strong cards. She again has the pentacle, so she is focused on that physical ability as well. And then we get the Fool card. So it's interesting to get the Fool card maybe near the end of the game. The Fool card is the first card of the tarot. It's card 0. It's like, all right, I'm ready to start my journey. I'm not looking exactly where I'm going. There's a cliff that I may walk off of, but I don't care because I am happy go lucky. I am on my way to something big, right? Basically, I think this card is saying this is the this will be the third game Mexico's playing. I think this game is basically saying that they are ready now to start their journey into the bracket, right? Like the round of 32. So I think basically this card is saying, okay, we were moving on to this point. You know, it's a new journey for them. It's like a new part of the game. They've made it through. I think they're going to make it through easily. I think I think Scotland's going to have a very tough time, especially in the first half. Mexico is basically like, this is our game. We're not sharing it. And they're going to end their game very happy. So, Oracle cards. We have Scotland has the house, Mexico has the key. The house talks about home, family, security. I think it's basically saying Scotland's going home. Let's see. They did win against Haiti. They're playing against Morocco today, so I don't know how their group is going to look. Um, so yeah, home, family, security. I think it says Scotland's going home. Key for Mexico: solution, opportunities, success. They're going to have a lot of opportunities. They're going to have success. They know how to find the solution if they have any issues. I think they're going to play a great game this time. I think their last couple of games have been a little hard for them. The first 2 games, they've been having a little tough time, but I think it's going to be very different this time. Scotland gets the corpse. Mexico gets the shadow. Corpse. It's like dead in the water, right? That's not a particularly good card to have. You are decay, lifeless, forgotten. I think this is going to be the end of Scotland. Maybe they're playing against Morocco today. Maybe Morocco beats them and they lose this game as well, and it's just the end for Scotland, unfortunately. Um, Mexico has a shadow, darkness, dread, ominous. I think basically that means I don't think that they're feeling that way. I think that that's how Scotland is going to feel as they play. Mexico. There, I think Scotland's gonna feel dread. That's what the Mexico is gonna give Scotland. Like, they're gonna give them dread. So I think this is pretty simple and very easy to say that Mexico is gonna win. Mexico for the win. I think they're gonna be very happy at the end of their game. So who knows how many goals they will score. All right. So next is South Africa against South Korea. They are playing in Guadalupe, Mexico. They're playing at 9 p.m. It's the same time as the Czechia Mexico game, both 9 p.m. Um, South Africa lost to Mexico 0-2. South Korea beat Czechia 2-1. South Korea lost to Mexico 1-0. And South Africa tied with Czechia 1-1. All right. I find the South Korean team to be a very strong team. I think they're very good at they're disciplined. I did notice when they played against Mexico that they should have taken a shot right at the end of the game. I noticed it, like it was there for them, and they didn't do it. And I was like, "Oh my god!" Because if they had, they would have tied, and that would have been insane. If they hadn't, then they would have missed it, and oh well, they still would have lost, but at least they would have tried. So I wonder if that's gonna be going on in their head, like, why didn't we take that opportunity that was given to us? All right, so South Africa on my left, South Korea on my right. So South Africa, we have the lovers card, we have the reverse three of cups, and we have the five of swords. South Korea, we have the Hierophant, Justice, and the King of Swords. Huh. All three of these people are sitting here and judging. So South Africa, we have the lovers card. So again, I think in this sense, when we're talking about the games, we're talking about harmony amongst team members, good relationships. Then we get the three of cups reversed. So the three of cups is usually a celebration card, but when we have it reversed, we're looking at people who may not be interested in collaborations and social gatherings right now. Events may be canceled. There may be gossip. Celebrations are tainted. So that's focusing more on independence. So they work well together, but it seems like as the game goes on for South Africa, working as a team breaks down. I feel like there's a breakdown in working as a team. Um, the five of swords, we see this person picking up swords. Fives are can be difficult cards. There's a lot going on in a five. They are very busy, very harried. Because we get this reverse of the three of cups before the five of swords, I think that's not a good five for South Africa. Um, it's like a win-lose conflict, right? There's a surrender, there's hostility, there's walking away. I pretty much think, especially in the second half, South Africa is they're not cutting it. There is a defeat. I think that's very clear. For some reason, their teamwork broke apart. It broke apart, and they just can't make up for it in the end. Um, South Korea gets the Hierophant card again. So what's interesting about these three cards is you have three people here, and each one of these three people could be very judgmental, right? You literally have Justice, who's going to tell you how you need to serve your time. You have the Hierophant, which is institutional, traditional. If you don't do something they feel that you should do, they will judge you. And then you have the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is the king. He is not as crazy as the emperor, but he's still going to bring down their judgment, especially with the sword. So he's ready. These cards are very strong. I think that all together, South Korea is going to be play very traditional. They're going to be very disciplined, right? We see a lot of discipline and we see a lot of tradition. They are going to bring down the justice. Both the justice and the king have swords. They're both ready to fight. So South Korea is not coming out of this. They're not, they're going to be kicking and screaming and doing everything they want, but they're probably doing it in a very stoic way because they're very disciplined. But they're going to be very aggressive in their own way. Like in their head, they got it all figured out and they are in the game, right? They may not be the type to play rough, which is I don't think that's in their nature. But they're going to play very well and they're going to play to win. So they're very balanced, right? The justice has the balance here. They're going to play very balanced, and they have great leadership. So it's almost like they understand. They have an hierarchy amongst the group. They know who to listen to, who to follow. There's people in charge, and they just do what they do. They're like a little army or a little military. So I think South Korea is going to win. I haven't pulled any oracle cards yet, but it looks like it already. Uh, I think they're just very disciplined. And I think South Africa, for some reason, they fall apart as a team and they can't, and they got to walk away by the end of the game. They're just not there. They get the clover. South Korea gets the key. So South Africa has luck, small chance, and opportunities. So they probably do have some opportunities. Maybe in the first half, they play pretty well. But it says they have a small chance. Like they have a small chance of winning. Doesn't look like they will, though. They have a little bit of luck, which is nice. But what's great for South Korea is they have the key, which is solution, again, opportunity, success, same as Mexico got. They know how to find solutions. They know how to, I think they are thinking over that missed opportunity they had recently yesterday against Mexico, and they're not going to let that happen again. I think they've learned from that and they're going to have success. All right. So South Korea got the boogeyman. South Africa got the boogeyman. South Korea got the banshee. So the boogeyman is scary. Fear, anxiety, and fright. I mean, this is here. The reverse 3 of cups and the 5 of wands. There's anxiety, fright. They're not doing well, right? It really gets to them in their head. The banshee is warning, premonitions, and foreboding. And like what I said with Mexico, where they would make Czechia feel that nervousness, that's what South Korea are doing to South Africa. They're making them feel foreboding. They are making them feel what's the other word I was looking for? Like warned, premonitions. They're giving them, the banshee is you hear a banshee in the night and someone is going to die, right? The banshee, you don't want to hear a banshee in the middle of the night outside your house. You don't want to hear that. It's a bit scary. I think that they are literally going to play so well. They're going to get into South Korea's head or South Africa's heads and they're going to just tear them apart. So I'm with South Korea with this one. I think it's South Korea. They're very determined. They're like, we're not making the same mistakes we did when at the end of that Mexico game. We are not. We must get through. Good on you, South Korea. That's what I say. I think I like every team. I don't think there's a team I dislike. I'm the type who's like, I want to see them all do well. But of course, there's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. They can't all tie all the time. Yeah, so that's what I got for today. This is for the games again on June 24th. This is the last 3 games of that day. I hope you all enjoyed this. I know I did. Thank you for watching. I very much appreciate it. I love your comments. Yeah, and stay tuned for more World Cup predictions. Thank you so much. Have a great day.